But that's why I think that it represents not just ARMY, but BTS, like the younger members, because he is the oldest. He's the
oldest?
Yeah, Jin's the oldest. He is the
How old is he?
He's 29. He's got to go by 30. Yeah.
What?
Yeah, I know.
What happened to my face?
My face?
Yeah, when I turned 29, I didn't look like that.
No, you don't look like that. No.
Jeez Louise. No. He's a good-looking dude.
Great day to play. Great day to play.
It's a great day to play, everybody. Welcome on into the channel.
Yeah. Welcome on into the channel. What are you doing? Pressing buttons. Got it.
I'm welcoming him into the channel. It feels welcoming now.
We need to
it?
load this thing up with something that's better than just.
Well, we can do that over time.
This bullcrap yellow brick road. Yeah.
Whether it's your first time here or you are rejoining us, thank you for being here with us today. You are loved, appreciated, always welcome here, and you are
enough.
Today, we are finally going to be getting in. I know we've been gone for a long time, and I apologize, everybody. We were setting up the studio, and it took a long time. Mm-hmm. But now we're back, and Jin's Astronaut. This was a collab with Coldplay, actually. Coldplay actually wrote this.
Sorry, I honestly did have something in my throat.
That's okay. I understand.
Coldplay.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm super excited.
This is their second song with them, right?
Yeah, he, from what I've heard, he debuted this song at Coldplay's concert in Argentina, actually. So like they asked him to come out there because they were going to perform it, and then he went out there with them, which is really, really cool. So I'm really, really excited. I have no idea what to expect. I've literally done such a good job of staying away from this. So this is one of those ones that like was on one of my playlists, and like because it was like a curated playlist. And like I heard something come on, I was like, I don't recognize this, and I went and like turned the thing real quick in the car, and I was like,
don't play that.
And so I luckily turned it off before it came on. I did good. Joshy did good. But here we go. Without further ado, let's do this.
Tell himself that because no one says it to him.
Oh, it's true.
All right.
않을 history 나의 우주가 되준 우리의 이야기 목적지 없이 흘러가는 저 소행성처럼 나도 그저 떠내려가고 있었어 어둠 속에 젖은 나의 모든 dream 새롭게 시작될 story When I'm with you, there is no one else.
Okay.
I get heaven to myself when I'm with you. There is no one else. I feel this way I never.
Normally for the BTS songs, just about like I'll normally let them go all the way through when I do an initial reaction to them. Okay. Now for like stuff like this, and then we'll come back to it afterwards and kind of go through it to give it a little bit more.
Oh, okay.
Space.
You paused it. I ain't paused
No, I just want to let you know like that's yeah.
You
should grab that box behind you that you threw. This one's gonna be rough. Thank you.
너의 꿈이 되어 비춰주는 저 은하수처럼 너는 나를 향해 빛나고 있었어. 어둠 속에 찾은다 나의 빛, 너에게 향하는 나의 길. When I'm with you, there is no one else. I get heaven to myself when I'm with you. There is no one else. I feel this way I never felt. I feel this way I never felt. When I'm with you, there is no one else. I get heaven to myself when I'm with you. There is no one else. I'm like a sparkle in your eyes, heaven coming through, and I love you. And I love you.
That's a good lyric.
Ooh.
I give heaven to myself. I like that lyric.
I got a lot to talk about with some things going on in there. Let's talk about the musicality for it real quick, though. It sounds like a Coldplay song. It had a lot. I mean, makes sense. They wrote it. Definitely a lot of Coldplay influence in there.
I just found something out about Coldplay that I didn't know before.
What's that?
I don't want to say this because a lot of people are probably going to see this video,
Yeah.
but I'm not a fan of Coldplay.
Yeah, I know that.
And I didn't know that his vocal on the Coldplay song was an awesome song.
Yeah, you don't like the guy's vocal.
I guess I don't.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Like, I thought it was just like, I just don't get it or something, but I just, like, that vocal on that song, perfect. It was very inspirational. Like, it was moving and everything moved. There's something about his voice I don't like, I guess.
Yeah, and that's okay.
Interesting.
That's different flavors, right?
Yeah, yeah.
I don't think musicality there is much like it. Coldplay's been writing music for a long time, and they have a quality to them, and there's a sound that you've come to know from Coldplay, and that it's definitely a mixture between that. I love the fact that that he obviously wrote some of the lyrics himself because there was Korean verses in that. So like this wasn't one of those things where it was like, and I like that they did that with My Universe too, where even though this was meant for American airplay, that it wasn't all in English. So that's, you know, it's a risk that I think that you take, and I really, really like that. And his vocals definitely stood out on that. There's a lot going on in the song symbolically that I think we have to talk about and address. A couple of things that I think that, like, the first portion that kind of hit me, which is why I paused it. Like, I didn't just pause it because, like, I wanted to tell you, but I paused it because, like, I could feel myself getting, like, really emotional. I was like, I'm not. Like, not that I haven't before, not that I'm not willing to, but it was a long song and I didn't want to have to like try to like make it through the whole thing. But the emotional aspect though comes from the things happening behind the scenes that I'm about to talk about. So like,
okay, so a bunch of stuff I don't know.
Right, correct.
Okay.
So it's
All
not
right,
like you shouldn't feel bad for
Like
not
no. I was sitting there like, am I dead inside?
No. So they've obviously announced now that Jin will be going to the military.
Yeah.
So that's obviously a very emotional aspect for people. And with that comes this whole, it's like an era, right? Over the course, they've announced that over the course of like basically until 2025, like each of them are going to go in succession, like one after the other after the other. Some of them might join together, but it's going to be a long time before we see BTS in a capacity as a group together.
If you ever do again.
I think that I do not believe like when they say that they're going to come back, that they will come back. And a lot of groups, this isn't abnormal for groups in Korea to do that, right? They just re-signed their contracts not too long ago. So like they're obligated to, even if they didn't want to.
Yeah. But the thing is, like, when you go through, and I'm not like, we're not in a world war right now or anything, but when you go through something completely different with a different group of guys, with a different group of brothers, something that's brand new like that, and they could come back.
It
just
might
different people.
Correct. And that's the biggest thing is like, I think you hit the nail on the head is what do they look like when they come back? I don't think you can ever lose that, but you are going to see and learn things that you hadn't experienced before.
Right.
And so there's a lot of emotions tied to that. But then I think that they put this whole thing in the song. So there's a couple of things. There's two ways that I think to look at it. One, I think like the obvious one, and BTS has used this in songs of theirs before, where they use like, generally it's a young girl that they use to represent ARMY. And I think that that's like the obvious one, that Jin is kind of like handing over the reins and like he's explaining his love for ARMY here. Like, without you, I'm lost, right? He feels like he's out of place. Like he feels like an alien when he's not with them.
Gotcha.
But I honestly think that there's more to it than that. I think that she also represents the remainder of BTS, and that through his time when he comes to Earth, he also like has this growing up thing. So like as an alien, he wouldn't have any clothes, but the suit that he put on was way too small for him. Like that wasn't like, yes, like high water, but they were way, way too high. Like it was definitely made specifically to be too small for him. And it's almost like he was outgrowing that and going on to the next level. And then he became more relaxed and came like into his own, he got out of the suit and was like in these kind of relaxed clothes. And the first thing that he does to her is he takes off his helmet and he hands it to her. Well, there's two things. One, ARMY and helmets, right? Because he's going to have to be past, like, he's the first one to go, but the rest of BTS is going to follow him.
Right.
So I don't think that it's just about taking, like, the helmet and handing it to ARMY as a protection piece. I think that it's a literal meaning of, like, taking the helmet and handing it off to the next BTS member of, like, here it is. And, we're going to survive this, and, like, we're going to be doing this together. I think that was it. And then the second thing was like when he's like teaching her how to ride a bike, theoretically he's an alien, so he shouldn't know how to ride a bike, but he still gets it anyway. Again, I think it's more talking about coming of age, but that's why I think that it represents not just ARMY, but BTS, like the younger members, because he is the oldest. He's
the oldest?
Yeah, Jin's the oldest. He is the
How
young.
old is he?
He's 29. He's got to go by 30. Yeah.
What?
Yeah, I know.
What happened to my face?
My face.
Yeah, when I turned 29, I didn't look like that.
No, you don't look like that. No.
Jeez Louise. He's a good-looking dude.
So I think, though, that it was kind of like him being kind of like the oldest member and showing a lot of the younger members how to just do things in life, how to handle life situations. But then at the end, you have that comeback full circle where he hears the ding, like she's gone, and it's almost like then they've grown up and he's handed off that mantle and it comes back. So I feel like there's kind of like this dual aspect of like it's partially about ARMY, but also partially about them. And then like when the spaceship takes off, it kind of is like this thing of like, because he says, okay, this is my home now, of like him feeling that like it's time to finally like move on, essentially. Like this whole weight that has been hanging over them with this whole thing. Like they decided a long time ago this was something that's going to happen. And the only spoiler that I got was there was an article that was sent to me that I opened, and it was talking about at the concert that Chris Martin made a statement, and I'm paraphrasing this, but Chris Martin basically made a statement before Jin came out, and he was talking about how months ago, that they had a conversation that Jin had already made the decision that he was going to be going. That Jin was going to be going, like they weren't leaving it up to Korea to decide their fate. Like he was going to go. And that's kind of how this whole thing came about, was like he wanted a song to leave to everybody. And I think that like this duality, and that's I think why it's so kind of emotional, because it's like this is the biggest group in the world.
Yeah.
They are the biggest group in the world, right? And instead of consistently, time and time again, using your fame, using all that to go to your head, using it to just make some next crap song that is just for hit radio, instead it's like, I'm gonna make a song to just show you, the fans, the people who have been around me, the people that I've grown up with, that like this is for you. This is like my last thing for you before I go away and we leave each other for the next 2 years, 2.5 years.
Oh, it's 2.5 years?
Well, it's 18 months. But again, they're each going to have to go in succession. So BTS is not going to be a group as a whole.
Why don't they all go
until
at the
like
same
2025?
Doesn't make any sense.
Because they all have solo stuff that's planned.
Oh,
so like I honestly think that it's so they can continue to do content and to make content, and it makes more sense for them to do that. Some groups in the past have where they all go at the same time, but I think it's going to be like every 3 months essentially. It's what it sounds like they're going to go.
Yeah, could you
so there'll be some
imagine?
overlap.
Because well, to be fair, a decision like that is like, okay, so it's not only these guys, but it's probably about 200 to 300 other people who are all feeding their families on BTS's content and the things that they, probably a lot more.
Right.
But directly, probably about 300 people on staff. So they'd have to do that to make sure that those people don't just go, oh, I don't have a job anymore?
Right.
Yeah.
Crazy. So it's just, it's insane and just incredibly, incredibly beautiful. I will definitely be listening to this a lot more and diving into the video. I actually think that there's a live version that we're going to be doing after this. So we're probably just going to knock that out right away. But it's incredible. And I'm sure there's probably things that I missed. Now that I've seen it, feel free to message me. Feel free to leave comments down below if I've missed anything, if there's other theories, if there's things like that. I was not reading them before. I was not paying attention to them before. But now I'll probably go and start reading those things. So thank you guys so much for the request on this one. Beautifully done. Jin nailed it. And I always say this, I don't think that Jin gets enough credit in terms of his abilities, because he was the one that came to the group with the least amount of prior experience. They went up to him on the street because he was a good looking dude. And they're like, hey, being here. But he didn't have prior singing experience. He didn't have prior dancing experience.
Interesting.
He was the oldest. So he literally had to learn singing essentially from scratch.
Right.
Because they brought him in and then made it through. And so a lot of times, he hasn't been the focus point, but every single time he does a song like this, he did the OST recently for a show, I think that was called I'm Yours. It's just like his songs hit you in a very, very emotional way. Like Jungkook's voice is beautiful and it's always a perfect pop vocal. But when Jin sings, there's something about it that like really draws on, like you were saying, like you could hear Chris Martin sing this and it wouldn't hit the same way for you.
Right.
But hearing him sing it, there's just this quality to his voice that is just like, I don't know. It's very, very emotional and draws you in to it and makes you feel. That's a good thing. That's a good thing in music. So thank you guys so much. Don't forget, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, follow us along on our journey. Leave your comments down below. If nobody told you that they love you today, don't forget that we love you. You're appreciated, always welcome. You're in this channel and you are enough. And last, but certainly not least,
It was a great day to play.
thanks guys. We'll see you in the next video. Bye.